Perched above the beautiful Strait of Georgia, Gibsons is a quaint seaside town full of artists and entrepreneurs dedicated to building a peaceful and sustainable community. Take a short ferry ride from Horseshoe Bay, and you will find yourself in this official gateway to the Sunshine Coast. One of the newest attractions for tourists and locals alike is a new market that is already bringing the entire community together.
Gibsons Public Market is really unique because, first of all, we're run by a not-for-profit society. We talk about it having all sorts of diverse activities inside and being a little bit like a magnet and drawing people with different interests to come here and see what we have going on. And so we have a food floor, which is fantastic, and it's like a mini Granville Island. People would relate to that. So you can come in and one-stop shopping and get what you need. That's a really fun experience, and it's supporting Shop Local, and it's supporting our local economy, which is wonderful. But we also have a community kitchen on the food floor, and there's lots of exciting activities planned there. And we also have a commercial kitchen because we want to support local food entrepreneurs in their local businesses. One of the things that I love about the main floor is in front of our garage door windows facing the water, we have this community space where people are just free to hang out. They don't have to buy anything, and it's really gratifying to see the community responding. Then you wander upstairs, and upstairs we aren't fully open upstairs. We're still in progress with the Nicholas Sontag Marine Education Center to come, and the whole idea is to showcase our local marine ecosystem. This wonderful project is here because we had our founding families come up with a dream to create a project like this from scratch on the Sunshine Coast. It was a big stretch, I would say.
We just had an idea, we had a dream, and we went to the town council and they said, you know, it sounds great, but you need money. We said, how much money? They said $250,000, and then we'll realize that the people of the town want this, or the people of the coast want this. We had 11 weeks to raise it. We came back and we'd raised $275,000.
The fact that in such a short time we have had over 300 volunteers in running programs, in hosting our galas, in painting the new market. That's what's made the market special.
It is enormously gratifying for all of us to have the doors open now and to see the community responding in the way that we had always hoped for. The community is showing us that what we hoped for is happening, and it is possible, and people are excited and thrilled to be here. It's a place where we're building community on the Sunshine Coast.
The major industries in Gibsons used to be forestry and fishing, but lately, a renaissance of community-minded businesses have flourished, including the Persephone Brewing Company.
Gibsons certainly has attracted a lot of very progressively minded people, and I think there's a real renaissance in small, socially minded enterprise that is starting up here in Gibsons and on the Sunshine Coast in general. People are really interested in looking at new ways of doing things, more community-minded ways of doing things, paying it forward as much as they can. It's a beer farm. So we are an 11-acre farm here. We grow hops, we grow cider apples, and we grow vegetables for local community members to purchase. But of course we are, first and foremost, we are a craft brewery. We pride ourselves on brewing award-winning beers, and more recently we are a cidery.
About a quarter of the apples we use come from a local orchard here on the Sunshine Coast in Wilson Creek. And just over there, we're going to be planting Well, starting with 150 trees, 3 of the varieties will be English cider apples. I think it's really important to be getting apples as locally as possible. You want to get fruit that's in good condition, that's in season, and it also just doesn't make sense to be importing things from a very long way away. So we get as much as we can from the Sunshine Coast, and we also get the majority of our apples from around Kelowna. So not that far away.
One of the things that does set us apart as a brewery is our status as a B certified corporation. It's a rigorously monitored kind of environmental, social, and community framework for doing things in a more sustainable, progressive way. We are also deeply embedded in the community and incubate a couple of social enterprises on the site to try and create social capital and community benefit.
All right, come on, guys.
Our organization is a 5% shareholder of Persephone Brewing Incorporated. Well, our clientele are people with developmental disabilities, and primarily what we're trying to do is create employment opportunities for them here on the farm.
Come on, good girl.
We support approximately 6 people on a seasonal basis, and they're involved in a lot of different things. For example, Amber, one of our people, is heavily involved in the chicken operation because she loves it, and so she feeds them, she cleans out their roosts, collects the eggs, and we also have an incubator back at our headquarters, and she takes care of that as well.
I wouldn't call this business an experiment. I think it's a model. I think it's a sign of the way things are moving for business, particularly here in BC and on the West Coast. So I don't think it's a question of whether or not business can be a force for good and do innovative, new, cool things like we're doing here. But I think it is still a challenge, and we're about trying to do something that has a meaningful, positive impact in our community and makes it better.
I think people are really receptive to businesses like Persephone because people want businesses like Persephone to exist. People want to participate in the kind of place that we're creating here.
I think we're all surprised and delighted by the way the entire community has embraced this project. It's just been a wonderful lightning rod for the whole community.
Buddy and Barb are longtime Gibsons residents and zero-waste gurus. They've made it their mission to share Gibsons' message of sustainability with communities beyond their shoreline.
The environment is a great place to park your soul for a while. I know it might sound kind of schlocky, but we can make a difference as individuals if we try. We started Gibsons Recycling in early 2000s. We created one of the most successful recycling entities in British Columbia. So it's just taking it into a depot model, which we basically call it like a reverse shopping center. When I started working in the disposal business in 1980, I started to realize that I'm taking perfectly good stuff to the dump. And it really kind of bothered me way back then that I know people that could use this stuff. So what we did was created basically, in essence, a salvage business from our disposal items so that we kind of pick through them. That really paid more focus towards reuse and repair, upcycling, repurposing. We've been at this for about 15 years with Gibsons Recycling. We've won a few awards, environmental awards, and so there's something to what we've built. And one of the mandates of this international zero waste movement is we have to go out into the community at large and educate people what zero waste is about.
Buddy and I were moving on to the next phase of our life, and we want to take the message to a broader audience.
One of the things that we're dedicated to in the zero waste movement is individually producing as little waste as possible. And that's based on choices. What we thought we would do is we bought a Chevrolet Bolt, which just came out. We're one of the few to have one in British Columbia. We're going to drive that from Victoria to Quidi-Vidi, Newfoundland, and back. And along the way, we're going to be talking to communities and individuals who've invited us to come in and share what we've learned over the past 15 years with them and their community leaders.
Bolt Across Canada is a low impact, zero waste, zero emissions road trip.
When we travel, we've all traveled and you're buying disposable this and fast that, we're gonna kick into zero waste mode, and that's where the pioneering part comes in, so that we're gonna try to produce as little waste as possible on our cross-country trip.
We want to compost our food scraps, so we're taking this electric composter, which is about the size of a bread maker, and creates compost in a couple of hours, and you can compost bones, food scraps. Then we're taking platinum silicone bags that you can cook in the water, you can store, they're multi-use. So those are just a few of the things that we're taking.
What a lot of people see as a daunting task, we'd like to just remind them, it's not that hard. Anybody could do it.
It's about creating a better world for the future.
The Sunshine Coast grows gorgeous local produce, and vendors in the area are eager to take advantage. For the folks at GG Greens, setting up shop in the public market has also meant finding a new place to call home.
我的名字叫杰克徐，我是 GG Green 的投资人和老板。我来自中国，来 Gibson 1年了。我在中国呢也是做商业零售，我住在一个不是很大的一个城市，也是海滨城市，并且它的名字呢也是Sunshine。实际上这个开始的时候，我们跟这个 market 的经营团队在一起讨论的时候，他们说了这个理念，实际上跟我的理念是一致的。我在国内也是做的是 local 的食品，在我们呢叫当地特产，但是这个特产呢还主要是以食品为主。因为首先呢，我的孩子在这上学，当时呢这个因为我想让孩子有更开阔的视野，并且接触更不同的文化，选择了加拿大。他在这边上学呢，后来我就断断续续的来，并且喜欢上了这个地方，有家的感觉。刚才我讲这个，就是说这个，我们人们都非常友善，见面都打招呼啊，问好啊，就是我感觉，就是很多年前我在我的家乡，就是我们住了好多年的邻居街坊。有这种感觉，就是见面都会打招呼，问一声好，但是随着现在城市生活这个节奏的加快，我们住在城市里边，特别是大城市里边，这种感觉就很少了。但是我到 Gibson 到阳光海岸以后呢，我又感觉到了这种故乡的感觉。
Gibsons is home to so many amazing people. Who are the people you love in your community? Tell us about them by emailing storyhive@telus.com. We will see you soon.
I'm aboard these hills with the sun on my skin. It's beautiful. The trees all green and gold now. The river runs cold. It's beautiful.